Actually, I'm not as red as I thought it'd be since I don't know. Hello to those people attending the special hearing this evening. I would like to start the evening by recognizing the traditional territories. The land on which we gather today is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, the Attawandarock, and the Mississauga peoples, many of whom continue to live and work here today. This territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties and is within the land protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. Today, this gathering place is home to many Indigenous people made up of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. The Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement should remind us that our responsibility to ensure the territories in which we live and work, is never emptied, and that we take care of the land and its inhabitants in a way that ensures its future sustainability. So welcome to this special hearing, the Committee of Adjustment for the City of St. Catharines. Everyone present, all y'all, will be given an opportunity to comment on the application being heard this evening. Please note that the Committee of Adjustment hearing is being recorded. There are two major types of applications this committee: applications for consent and severance, and applications for minor variances to municipal zoning bylaw requirements. Evidence may be required to be given under oath if deemed necessary. Please address your comments and questions through the chair. Additionally, please maintain respect while communicating with the committee staff and other meeting participants to ensure smooth and orderly discussion. Copies of all decisions will be mailed to the applicant and any other person who appeared before the committee or filed a written request to receive a notice of decision. Pursuant to the More Homes Built Faster Act, and in the matter of consent applications, the applicant, the minister, or a specified person or public body that has an interest in the matter has the right to appeal either the decision itself or the conditions of the consent to the Ontario Land Tribunal within 20 days of the mailing of the decision. Minor variance decisions may also be appealed. However, they must be made within 20 days of the making of the decision, and the cost of an appeal is $400. Canadian. No tax. Maybe there's tax. Is there tax? I wonder. Anyway, are there any amendments or additions to the agenda?
There is one minor change to the notice of hearing for variance number 2. The variance should read a reduction to the minimum rear yard setback for a parking structure from 30 meters to 10 meters instead of the rear side yard setback. Noted in the notice of hearing. The revision is noted in the technical report.
Thank you. With that amendment, do we have a motion to approve the agenda? Thank you, David. Next slide. May we... Yeah, minutes, right, minutes. Motion to adopt the minutes of the previous... Well, they happen on the next meeting, so not today. This is special. All right, declaration of, does any member of this panel have a conflict of interest in the application being considered at this hearing or previous hearing if they were not in attendance? I do not. No, thank you. There are no requests for withdrawal or adjournment.
There are none.
So that would clear the way for us to invite the special hearing applicant and anyone they wish to bring along as a friend. There we go, down to the horseshoe, turn on your microphone, tell us an address where you can be found between 9 and 5, Monday to Friday, our first name, last name, would be great too, and then share with us anything you wish to say in support of your application.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. My name is Dan Romanko. I'm with Better Neighborhoods. With me today is Toby Omega, project manager with the ownership.
I'm the development manager with Chanix.
Very good. First off, I'd like to thank the committee for attending this special meeting. The reason for this is that we're well into the site plan agreement phase, and this application for variance is requested to address some of the revisions to the plan, which we'll show in a moment. If you want to maybe cue that up, I'd appreciate that. While we wait, I just wanted to say that we have reviewed staff recommendation report, and we are in agreement with the conclusions therein. And I'll just give the committee a brief overview of the context for the application. So on the screen, you see the subject site next to the Path Stone out on 4th Avenue. Next slide, please. This is just some shots of the existing site. Next slide. The property is designated mixed use in the city's official plan. Next slide, please. And we're here today because the approved plan that you see on the screen was part of a rezoning application, a site-specific rezoning application that was approved by council back in April of last year. The approval was for 430 suites. It's a long-term care and retirement home with a progressive phase of care. And it had a maximum height of 42 meters for the northwestern tower. It was 10 stories. The proposed use is, we're maintaining the proposed use. We've just had a reconfiguration of the site, and largely due to the fact of change in economic trends, together with the fact that the high water table has made it so that the underground parking that was originally proposed is considerably expensive and not very practical. Next slide, please. So this is the rendering of the original proposal that was approved. Next slide. And just a better perspective on that in relationship to the site and surrounding area. Next slide. So the project team has reconfigured the proposal to have 376 total beds. The plan is progressive. There's up to 3 phases. And as I said, we're underway with the site plan to get the first phase underway as soon as possible. There's a range of on-site amenities for residents and 143 at-grade spaces provided, and I can get into and explain that in a moment. Next slide, please. So as you can see, this is a scaled down version of what was there before, and it's been oriented in a different fashion, which, as you'll see in a little bit, impacts the height restrictions that were imposed by the zoning bylaw. The other thing of note is that on the west side, there is a proposed carport, just to provide a little bit of shelter and screening for what is otherwise employee parking, because that access along the back there is primarily for loading and service of the site. It is considered a parking structure, so that's largely the reason why we need 3 of the 7 variances requested. Next slide. And these are revised images or renderings of the proposed development. Next slide. Another shot looking at the internal courtyard from the east. Next slide. So there's a total of 7 variances requested. The first 3, as I mentioned, are largely related to the parking structure. We could easily remove it, but it's kind of a nice to have feature, and it's something that we'd prefer to see as part of the site. There's a proposed landscaping buffer along 4th Ave, which is being reduced to permit a ground level patio for an amenity space. It's right adjacent to the dining hall, and will be programmed to be quite a nice, attractive space for residents. The drive aisle in the internal at-grade parking on the 3rd phase of the project is hampered by a turning movement. There is enough turning movement there, but it doesn't meet the bylaw requirements. We're asking for a modest increase of 3% for total lot coverage and a revised schedule for addressing the proposed height from what it was before. Next slide, please. So to help orient yourself a little bit, we've tried to codify and illustrate where those variances are applicable. 1 through 3, again, related to the carport and the setbacks along both property lines, together with the westerly lot line. The landscape buffer is for a proposed amenity space out along 4th Ave. And the bump out, which you can see in the blue there, is just a modest little area there, but it does provide a turning movement there. So there's little concern for backing up. Next slide. Didn't include a slide for the coverage, but we're just jumping ahead to the 7th here, which is the height. And so as per the original bylaw, the zoning schedule attached for height was very restrictive. So in order to keep this within the variance realm, a similar schedule has been applied for the proposed, as you saw in the renderings. So those are the proposed heights. Next slide. So to conclude, we believe the variances meet the 4 tests of the Planning Act. They're meeting the intent and purpose of the bylaw and the official plan. They're desirable for the community, and they're minor in nature. The site offers good urban design, and enhancement of the streetscape. Clearly meets the need for senior housing, and an opportunity for those residents to age in place. The creation of 250 odd jobs and a range of amenities and spaces for the residents therein. Next slide. So at this point, I'm happy to answer any planning related questions, and obviously Toby can deal with any other questions you may have regarding the programming of the building.
Great, thanks so much. Are there any questions from members of the committee to the applicant? The staff report we have is recommending approval. If and when there's a motion read in, we're just going to make the correction outlined by Elaine. Anybody in the gallery wish to speak to this application? No. So are any comments from planning staff? No? Okay, great. I think this is the point in the evening where someone makes a motion regarding this application. And it'd be the person that raises their hand first, or the appointed. Okay, thank you, David.
Following consideration of all written and oral presentations, I move that variance application A6325 is presented in the notice of hearing with revision to variance 2 to adjust rear side yard setback to rear yard setback be approved as the variances are minor in nature, appropriate and desirable for the use of the land, and are in keeping with the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaw.
Thank you. All those in favor of the motion, show of hands. Your application has been approved unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We just completed the 25-26 CVA schedule, and we'll circulate that for next year's hearing nights.
All righty. Great, so new business done. Next hearing, November 12th. Motion to adjourn the meeting. Thank you, Tom.